Meeting to order, and Ms. Lisa, if you would call the roll, please.
Commissioner Cross?
Here.
Commissioner Berezinski?
Here.
Commissioner Engel?
Here.
Commissioner Hughes?
Here.
Commissioner Mahoney?
Here.
Commissioner Nash?
Here.
Commissioner Sabo?
Here.
Commissioner Wilkins?
Here.
And Commissioner Stolman.
Here. Okay, thank you. We have a quorum. I'm going to try to make this meeting last as long as possible.
You are going to get the part of the show last one.
Got the hammer, so. Okay, first item of business is approval of the minutes of the February 21st meeting.
So moved.
Support.
Okay, motion, Mr. Nash and support for Mrs. Wilkins. Any comment on that? If not, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the next item is public comment on an agenda item. If anyone in the audience would like to.
Any audience
comment?
left?
Yep, there's one. This is your chance. Okay, nobody's stepping forward. We have two items for consideration. The first one is CDSP 13/03-04, adopt the revised bylaws of the APAC committee. Mrs. Wilkins.
Yes, I have a concern about the makeup of that board. To me, I think it established a group that they can be off for 2 years, they can come back on, and then they can get 12 more years. And it's a select group, and as a result of this, you're not going to get other people in the community that needs to be a part of this group. So I think that we need to look at that, the makeup of that advisory board a little more to make sure, number one, we'll get diversity.
Is that the, I'm sorry, Bob Lukens, Community Development Director?
That's on the
Term of office?
the term of office and the makeup of the people that are on there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We certainly can revisit the term of office. If I could just mention about the membership, we tried to make that very representative of the hospitality community in Muskegon County. So we can have discussions about this to see if
I figured that out when I looked at the categories. But in addition to that, I think that's when you may need people at large to be a part of that, because otherwise they don't change. Those people will be in those same positions, and you will never have a diverse group if you're looking at this community. And I think that that's what should be one of our focuses.
we will look at that, Commissioner.
Okay, anybody else? Yes, Mark.
Well, I think part of this is because they are stakeholders. And because they're stakeholders, that's why they're asked to be a part of the group. And this tax is a tax on beds, and it affects their business.
Right, and this is a stakeholder in our community too. You know, this board is a part of our community. So it shouldn't be just limited there.
I guess I'm confused.
Okay, but you'll look at that. Anybody else? Yes,
Yeah,
Mrs.
well,
Hughes.
I do, and I kind of thought the same thing Commissioner Wilkins did. You know, because on here it says representatives of Muskegon County's largest hotel and convention center, the sports arena and stuff like that, shall serve indefinitely. And I think we need to be able to change, you know, occasionally. And the reason I say that is because sometimes, okay, for example, the Pumpkin Fest may decide that they don't want to stay, they don't want that hotel to be their host hotel, so they go to another hotel. Well, that guy may never, in his indefinite amount of time, want to support the Pumpkin Fest. You know, so I'm just saying there could be some conflicts of interest there, and a guy that's there indefinitely could have an issue with. I just used Pumpkin Fest because I couldn't think of anything else, and I didn't want to name anything specific, but I do have a concern about that too.
Yes, Mr. Chair,
Yes.
On page 6, the terms of office, I have a problem with, that was one of the main concerns about that. After 1 year, a person can be on the board. After a 1-year hiatus, potential members may resubmit an application to be considered for appointment to 2 additional terms of office with a maximum time served of 12 years. And so what you're doing is you can establish that board of the same people for years to come.
Yes, I think, Commissioner, one of the reasons was we were having kind of a difficult time finding people for the committee. And because it is generally made up of stakeholders, they requested that they have longer terms because they tend to be in the positions for a long time. For instance, Michigan's Adventure, you know, she's the general manager and will be for the foreseeable future. It was a family business, that sort of thing. The Walker Arena, same thing. These are businesses that are well established within the community, and I think that they just wanted to be assured that they would have a position on the board, or the committee, rather.
You know, if I could, the ex officio members do not have votes.
Correct.
Correct. And I guess you could sort of, I know, because we had this conversation over the weekend about our longevity on some of these. I mean, you were on the council for many years, so was I. And I'm sure you felt you were still providing good service to your community. So but maybe you can come back with a proposal to help, not just a little bit.
Just to be
Anything else?
clear, though, the ex officios, you say, should still not vote, correct?
I hadn't really thought about it. I'm looking at this, and they're not included in the voting members, so.
Okay.
Do they show up to meetings?
Yes, they do.
They do.
A good number.
Actually, that's, the ex officio members to me sound like a really important group of our community. I would think they should be voting myself, but, I mean, I suppose you can't have
Well-
43 people voting, but,
Right.
so but I don't care about that, but I am concerned about the length of the terms and that the same people, because, you know, when you come in, people that have been there a long time, they do continue to dominate what happens and what doesn't, and I'm sure they have favorite things that sometimes they might be less inclined to support something that isn't gonna put enough people to stay in their hotel.
Mr. Mahoney?
Just a couple of things. You addressed one of Commissioner Nash's concerns about attendance in this one. You know, there's a penalty or whatever for not attending on a regular basis. The second part of it is these people are appointed by this commission. And in fact, if we need to change, or we think there's a reason to change, we can do that.
That's not what it says though. It says here that these people serve indefinitely. That doesn't give you much of an appointment time. That was my concern.
For the few larger established positions, the rest of them are all appointed by us.
We can revisit this, Commissioner.
Okay. Anybody else? Yes, Mr. Nash?
I think it may be some confusion on that, because from my understanding, again, they're always appointed by the county board, correct?
Well, the change here is to make sure that the larger groups are represented on this ATAC, because they are the ones that pretty much have the larger stakeholder in the group. In particular, Shoreline probably, that kind of thing.
So are we speaking of the ex officio or the voting, or both?
Those would be the voting members.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know, I was just looking at it, and they're 3-year terms, correct?
2 year.
Except the other people, and theirs are indefinite.
I see ATA shall serve staggered 3-year terms.
Yeah, that's right.
3-year terms.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a term limit of 4 terms.
How would somebody else appoint someone from Michigan Adventure?
Well, I would think that Michigan Adventure would, during the times that it comes up every 2 years or 3 years, they would send 3 recommendations and you would pick one of them. and it wouldn't always have to be the same person every single year. They would put forth 3 recommendations, and, you know, we would look at all of them and say, this guy's been on there for the last 6 years, maybe we need some new blood, rather than over and over and over the same person.
Generally, each entity select its own person. I mean, when you go to the city of Muskegon, or you go wherever, if you say there'll be one representative from the city of Muskegon, we don't assign it. They figure out who their rep's gonna be.
But they're saying that that representative gets to serve indefinitely, it doesn't change. And I just think change sometimes is a good thing, to get some new ideas on that board, because we need some new ideas to help Muskegon prosper and go. And if we just keep the same people there all the time, it seems like we're not going anywhere. We're just staying at the same place. I'd like to see some new ideas.
You know, I think we
Right.
said all
I
we
was
can
just-
say about this now, but you'll just
You'll
bring
bring
that
it
back
back.
to the committee
Yeah.
and rethink it. You know, and I'm just thinking, I guess because I'm chair, I'm gonna get the last word in on this issue. Like, in the case of Michigan Adventure, Camille Jordan Mark, who's their general manager, has worked there since she was a kid. And I don't know if you know her or not, but I don't think you can get a better person than that. I mean, I don't think she's stale at all. I mean, she wouldn't keep that job if she was now. But I understand what you're saying, but you'll think about it.
So are we voting on this? then?
Yeah, we're gonna vote on that now, and a motion was on the floor and it was supported, so we'll vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, great. The next item is CDSP 13/0305, adopt the agreement with the Unity Fishing Festival.
Second.
Mr. Cross and Mrs. Hughes, any questions? I have just a couple of brief questions, one of which is that $1,000 daily fee. Now, I'm still not clear about this. Do we keep that or we give it back?
Yes, we keep that at this time,
Okay, that's new, or newer.
yes.
So it's $1,000 for each day, and then the dollar ticket surcharge for each individual ticket or pass?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to confirm that, because I know we used to refund the deposit at one.
Well, the dollar surcharge, or the deposit is now a fee, and that is, this year will be used for the ticket surcharge. So if you have a $10,000, you sold $10,000 worth of tickets, you have a $3,000 reservation fee, you will owe the county $7,000.
Okay, so I wasn't clear. So it's not both?
No, it's not.
Okay, that's fair.
For this year, we are looking at changes to that requirement for next year.
Okay, any other questions?
That just confused me. Can you say that one more time?
If you sold $10,000 worth of tickets, and you made it was for a 3-day festival, and you put down $3,000 for the reservation fee, you will owe the county $7,000 at the end when we settle up with the ticket charge. So in effect, you'll be paying the $10,000 for tickets. The festivals just use it for this year against that ticket charge. That makes sense.
No, it sounds like everything they make goes to the county.
No, it's not everything.
No, 10,000, if they sold 10,000 tickets, we'd get $1 for every ticket, so it'd be
Okay, you said
$10,000.
Okay, I was thinking, I was too.
No, no.
$1 a ticket.
Okay.
What if they didn't sell any tickets? Then what happens?
Then we keep the $3,000.
Okay.
And this has been a normal agreement.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
Have they been able to meet their obligations with that every
Oh,
year?
yes.
Okay.
Now, the festivals give a certain number of tickets are comp tickets, but it's
No, I
like that
just
every-
asked because we've had other concerts that never could meet that, and I'm just
Well, some are
curious.
free events, they just pay a reservation fee.
Right.
There are a number of free events throughout the year.
Mr. Nash, I think a lot of that just comes down to how well they run the event. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, like the $1 a ticket, do they collect the $1 a ticket, or is it just built?
It's built into their ticket charges usually.
Because if you don't plan right, there won't be any money left at the end. I mean,
Well, that was my whole thing. anyway, I don't wanna get in throwing stones, it's in the past.
I just got a quick question.
Yes.
On this, here, are there any other expenses or additional revenues that are there for the county? Or is it just through the ticket sales?
It's mainly through ticket sales and the reservation fee.
Anybody else? Okay, if not, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that motion passes. The next item is old business. Does anyone have any old business? New business? This is ending quickly. Public comment on a new topic?
Oh,
Yes, too late. Adjourn, I need a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? We're adjourned.